Hello and welcome to the Wandering Isles. God damn it, Ken.
That was not intentional.
Whether you guys are out there celebrating Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Solstice, just New Year's in general, Hogmay, Misoka, Bodhi Day, or any of the other festive seasons that are up to come. We want to wish you the happiest of holidays. We are here one more time this year. This is it. We've done it. We made it through 2024, and we've made some fantastic friends along the way. It's been a really cool road, and I'm ready to end this year with a bang. I'm joined today with Richard playing Slate. We have Mr. Kian playing Dash. We have Rory playing Yus, and we have Busy playing Hatsu Toshitsugu. And I'm going to be your DM for this evening, and my name is Ken, which I forget to say an awful lot, and I only notice it when I'm editing the videos afterwards.
Your name is DM. What are you talking about?
That's Daddy DM to you. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
Everyone ready for our final recap?
Hi, Papi.
Hi, Papi. Mr. Busy, if you're ready.
Yeah, no, who's doing the recap? I'm not prepared.
For the podcast listeners, it's going to sound way more awkward that there was a space there.
Sorry. Dear Father, I wanted to write you how we've prolonged our journey. After we met a new ally, we encountered a strange creature. I think I told you about it last time. I just remembered. So we moved on from there. We went further north to a region that is called Broader Deer. It's quite different than the other ones that we have encountered. Also seems that there is some kind of expedition going on here, because it seems that they investing a lot of money. The city looks very industrial-like. A lot of houses, a lot of guards. And they have ships inside, like a lake-ish area, but they can't escape from there, and it's a little odd to me. Don't know if they're just there for fishing or they have other technologies to move these ships around. We stopped here to rest for a while and prolong with our mission. Best regards to Mom. Hatsu.
Hell yeah. What a way to ring it in. That was really nice. In the spirit of giving, you all have inspiration. For this,
Yes.
our final session. Slate probably had inspiration, but for the rest of you, you can...
I didn't, because I used it for once.
Even better.
Yes!
Finally, it all paid off. You pass the guards at the gate of Broader Deer, narrowly avoiding capture.
Thanks, Bran.
Protection.
See you later.
Nods back to you. I'm not sure his name is Bran.
It's Bran, Dash. It's Bran.
Bran. There we go.
That's what I said.
I was like, I know. Yeah. You guys are inside the confines of the... Better notes than me. You're inside the confines of your next leg of the journey. Some of you are tired. Some of you are spell weary. We'll find a name for that.
That's a good. I like that name. Spell weary.
What do you guys want to do?
Guess we need to find a place to kip for a few days.
I don't think that we should make too much noise here. It's a lot going on.
Just identify an inn or tavern or someplace with rooms. Just head straight there and then plan our next move.
Mm-hmm. Broader Deer has a wide variety of Well, let's just say it has a lot of services available to you. If you want an inn or a tavern, that should be easy to find. If you want something specific, like if you're looking for something specific, this might be a good place to find it as well. The idea you would get from looking around instantly is that this is definitely, much like Dagtorp, a place where mostly humans reside, and anyone else outside of that category is very well hidden. You just see regular people walking around doing regular things, living their regular lives. So just proceed with caution. So you want to go to a tavern or an inn? Upscale, downscale, what are you looking for?
What do you folks think?
Well, depends on how much gold you have in your pockets.
Oh, nothing. I have like 7 electrum and 1 silver.
So I guess we should take something basic.
Basic, low-key. Out of the way.
Something cheap, but not so cheap that we look like we're rich, because then we're the targets.
I was about to say people that used to stay in these établissements. Let's make it French.
What's French?
They used to talk a little bit more when you can offer some food and drink, I think.
French was the name of that baker, wasn't it? He invented croissants?
Oh, that's right. We did actually set up canon for this way back in like episode 2 for the ship, right?
I think we did, yeah, because I was like, okay, so does France exist canonically?
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, if you're trying to find somewhere a little bit more low scale, that's easy. You enter this kind of rundown, shabby little tavern. It looks old. It looks like it's been here probably since then and hasn't once been refurbished. But thankfully, that also means that it's quite empty. It's just you and what would appear to be a barkeep.
Slate, you can do the talking. Slap Slate in the back.
I'm gonna stroll up and just walk up to the bar and see what the bartender is doing.
He's sweeping kind of at the back. He's this older gentleman, like kind of longish white hair, kind of matte and wrangled, hanging over his face. He's just sweeping. Probably has about 1 good tooth in his head. He looks like he probably came at the tavern.
Having a quick glance around, obviously I can tell that it's not, upmarket. The fact that it's empty. Mm-hmm. Do I get any sense of, like it's empty as in all the tables are clear and clean? It's not like patrons have been in and just left. Like it's bottom of the rung type stuff, so people don't come here that often, perhaps, or it's off the beaten track.
Yeah.
Or
and in terms of using their dishes and cutlery, they probably. It wouldn't matter that there's guests here or not. You're definitely sharing something with the previous guests of this place.
Yeah, perfect. So I am going to get his attention and just say, we're looking for some rooms, somewhere to stay. What do you have to offer? Somebody pointed us in your direction.
He sort of turns around and he squints one eye and he's like, "What?"
So then I'm going closer and be like, we're looking for rooms, somewhere to stay.
He's like, "Wait." He leans down and he picks up this little horn and he puts it in his ear.
So I'm going to repeat it. We're looking for somewhere to stay.
Oh, you can stay upstairs.
And I'm going to gesture to I presume the full group. We've all come inside.
You're all standing there dripping snow and stuff on the floor, and They're like backpacks on, jackets and everything, and you're standing in this place that's already cramped as it is.
So I'm going to gesture to the number of us and say, have you got room for everybody? Into his ear horn.
Does anyone mind sharing?
It is what it is.
Then I have room.
So then I'm going to ask him how much, and can I see the rooms?
2 copper pieces. And he looks at you like he's ripping you off. He says you can definitely see the rooms. Sort of like hobbles towards the stairs. Using a stick, he takes 1 step at a time. There's maybe 10 steps, but this journey takes maybe a minute and a half.
And I'm just thinking to myself, this is going to be an easy negotiation, because after all this effort, he's going to want us to stay. Otherwise, it was a wasted journey.
Yeah. As he leads you up, he opens up the door to what is 3 separate rooms with maybe 1 bed in each. And, like, they are, like, the best feature of the room is that they creak, because it gives you something interesting to do in these rooms. There's nothing else, like, going on in this place at all.
It's literally just protection from the elements. There's nothing there, just a bed frame. And,
even that might be a stretch. Like, it depends which room you get.
Okay.
This place looks like it's never seen anything above a silver piece in its life. It's like, it's 1 step above the street. Like.
So, is there an overhang, like a balcony, or is it like an internal staircase that nobody can see and I'm upstairs, or can I talk down to people who are down below?
As you move, no, nothing like that. It's just a stairway in the back that leads up. But any movements that you make on the far side of the rooms makes it feel like you could make a balcony very quickly if you lean too far over that window. So,
I'm going to ask, is there anything included? You know, ale, food.
You think I'm rude? Just the horn up, and he's like
this food, making the gesture to eat.
I can make you food
and drink. Yeah, and then I'm gonna do the gesture for money and be like, you know, how much is it included? Again, go closer and speak into the horn.
That's another copper piece.
1 copper for everybody, or per person, or?
He looks up at, like, he's like seeing the face of God. He never occurred to him he could charge per person. Per 2 people. He's not reading.
So I'm just going to say, like, go like this, 1 second, and then I'm just going to say wait, and I'm going to run downstairs and just relay to everybody it's 3 rooms, a single bed in each. I said I'm happy to use my pack and my bedroll, sleep on the floor. It makes no difference to me. And say, you know, give people the choice of the rooms. If you guys are all happy, then we can split amongst 3 rooms, 2 copper apiece. Apparently there's food. I don't know if you want to eat it, but it's 1 copper per 2 people if we wanted to risk that. This is what we have on offer. And it's exactly how you might imagine it upstairs based on in here.
We can get whiskey in place of the food, because at least that, you know, alcohol kills bacteria.
I mean, at the very least, there's nobody here, so if we leave our stuff here, it's unlikely to be stolen, even just for the fact that nobody comes here.
Sure. Fine by me.
Much space anyway.
So
I think it's best if we stay here and scout a little first.
Perfect. Some time ago, when we found the researchers in the cave, I found, I don't know, 6 or 8 copper at some point. I don't think I put it onto my sheet, but it was back then when I found it. Okay. So I'm going to cover the bill on this, because I might as well. It makes sense. So I'll go up to the guy. I'm going to give him 6 to start, and speak very slowly and explain. And then
the horn in before you start speaking. He's ready.
Yeah, so I'm going to explain. We'll take the 3 rooms. There's the 6 copper. And then obviously bring him to bed downstairs. It'll take a few minutes. Make sure he can see everybody and explain these are the people that are going to be coming and going to those rooms. They don't have any other rooms. That's all they have to offer. So we've eventually booked the place out. Is that basically what we've done? Effectively,
yeah. I mean, like, he'll for this much copper, he'll host private party for you, look.
So I had 6 copper. I'm going to give him 8 and just ask him to lock the door and don't let anybody in but us for the night.
Ooh.
For the sake of 2 more copper.
Could be a problem. Haven't seen that key in years.
Well, you'll be here, so just don't let anyone else in. How's that?
I can do that.
Perfect.
Slate, just excuse us one moment. Is not letting anyone else in a good idea? Because, you know, if all of a sudden people can't come in here, people are going to be like, why can't we go in there? What's in there? Who's hiding there?
Well, we can say that we've booked it, we've paid for it, and it's full. People are going to know that we're strangers here anyway if they're locals, and I don't want people going through our stuff, do you?
No, but I don't want to make it, you know, a challenge or a target either.
Alright. So then just count out 6 pieces and say, he says not to give you the other 2.
He needs to do a what? Oh, the latrine is over there.
And then I'm just going to push Dash over and say, you deal with this.
He looks up at Dash, like, just staring almost at the ceiling. He's just very close to Dash.
Well, I'm going to go check out my room. Thank you very much, sir, and I'll reach to shake his hand.
He lifts his hand up and it's shaking like crazy, like automatically shakes your hand just by holding it.
I'll just dap him up.
Dap him up. Takes him a while to make a fist, but you get there. Yeah. He makes his way back down the stairs, and there's a queue of you trying to get back down the stairs. It takes about a minute and a half or so. But he finally gets there. Back over to his brush.
Sled, is there room for it outside the establishment, to the side of it, at the back of it, or like do we have to bring it in, or
You definitely gotta get it in, but I'll say around the back is probably
perfect. So I'll take the time with the others to push it around the back, secure it, cover it over with a tarp, throw some snow on it, whatever.
Cool.
And then obviously empty it of anything of use and bring it all inside.
Wonderful. So, yes, Hatsu. What do you guys want to do while we're chilling out here?
I'll be staying here.
Yes. We have a thought and a talk, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, food is served. And by food, I mean a pot of... We'll call it jambalaya. That'll be the best way to do it, but it is mostly just a mix of ingredients that potentially are okay for such a thing. Smells alright.
Do you guys want me to go out and get some fruit?
I'm not hungry, but someone else is.
Do you ever eat?
Oh, sure.
I'm not
I
sure I've
don't
ever
eat.
seen you.
Not surprised that you wouldn't see something.
I mean, that's fair. I don't see you half the time. You just suddenly appear there, so that's yeah, that's fair.
Dash, could you get me 12 green apples, 2 bunches of bananas, and grapes, please?
Hold on, 12 green apples, 2 bunches of bananas,
And red grapes, please.
and red grapes. Sure, I can have a look.
Thank you.
Anyone else need anything?
Yeah, I mean, unless they're gonna go explore the local area and see what they can find.
Okay. Do you guys want to wait up for me? I'll tag along with you until I find a grocer.
They leave.
God damn it. I swear to Minerva that one's going to be the death of me. Alright, back soon. I'll try to locate a general store or a grocer, market stall. Anything that'll have that list of stuff.
Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, it's a pretty big kind of like area, you'll find almost anything you're really looking for. So you just want like a general store kind of vibe, right?
Yeah. What kind of is there like is there like an outdoor market type place where there might be a good few people around?
Yeah, I would say there'd be a market square, but like the way it would work here is that you'd have a big store. So you'd like have the blacksmith, or you'd have like the different people, the butcher or whatever, and they would have a stall here. So you can go there or go to the main store, whichever. It would be the same sort of service, just limited supply at the stalls, that's all.
Okay, cool. Just while I wanted to try to get a vibe for the city as well. And just see kind of what are the people like? Are they well off or poor? Are they, can I make out any hidden magical beings there? Is there anyone I know familiar about?
I mean, yeah, like you can go and look around. It wouldn't be the easiest thing to spot someone who doesn't want to be spotted because you're Dash, but yeah, you can do that. Yeah.
I figure I've seen some bits of magic now. I might have an idea of what kind of sparkly shit to look out for.
You see Gandalf, but you don't recognize him. Yeah, no, I get you. You're looking for...
It's a weird school teacher out there that just won't let his students pass. It's wild.
Yeah. So... Yeah, you're looking for like the general store. So... Oh. Yeah. So Icebound Provisions are the general store. They have things like fishing gear, base level clothing, basic tools for survival, and things like foods and a lot of like fish and stuff like that. The local butcher is more of a fishery, so they have mostly fish, but they do have some minor supplies like rabbit and stuff that they got from the wilds outside as well. So depending on what kind of food you're looking for, it would be one or the other.
Well, I'm looking for 12 green apples, 2 bunches of bananas, and some red grapes.
Yeah, the best they can do is probably like questionable apples that are mixed colors, and they don't know what a grape is. Or a banana.
Don't know what a banana is.
They have oranges. Does that help?
Yes, I guess I'll take...
The oranges are slightly orange, but within the inside is more like this bluish color. It seems to be something that grows here, like, I would say seasonally, but it is this weather pretty much all year around. But it looks like something to you that would be in Palperoth, something you get a certain time of year rather than something that would be a permanent addition.
Ah, interesting. Well, yes, I guess I'll take a bunch of those and some apples. Just have to make do without the grapes. If you ever come across them, they're like tiny, tiny apples, except juicier.
You from Palperoth?
Yes,
yeah,
I know. I stand out like a sore fucking thumb. I'm very well aware. I can only offer my apologies, I guess.
Not accepted.
Harsh.
As harsh as the winters themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, how much for this lot?
It's only 2 copper pieces at most.
Pieces, cool. It's 10, 10, 10, isn't it? Just gonna switch the silver to copper.
Oh my god, you give him a silver piece?
No.
How are you changing that silver piece? Interesting.
What'd you say?
How are you changing that silver piece? I guess you're gonna have to. Oh no.
I'm gonna have to, yeah. I have to change that silver for copper.
You hand him it, and he's like, ah. He puts it in, and he takes out his little satchel, and he takes out the like 8 copper he owes you back, and it's like most of what was in the satchel.
Well, thank you very much. Apologies for the inconvenience. That was most of my savings. I really wish I had smaller coins. My apologies. Anyway.
Yeah.
Take care.
Is there anything else you're looking for while you're here?
We're spending a week of downtime here, right?
Yeah.
Cool. So at the moment, no. We'll get to what I want to do after we've reconvened with the fruit.
I say yeah, but I mean, like, yes, if you want to, as a group.
I think so. I do many crimes I want to commit here, and things to set alight.
No, that's fair. Perfect. Yeah. So basically, you guys are just settling in for the night, preparing for the coming week of downtime. For downtime, the way it usually works for us is just that we basically set it up to each person is going to do their downtime. If there's crisscross, either you can interject or you can wait till your turn and just line up the interjection later. That's okay. Generally, we go from person to person, give them their opportunity to explain what they do, relevant roles if necessary, and we go from there. RP somewhere in the middle. It isn't too complicated. We follow the Xanathar's Guide for Extended Rules, extended downtime, for people who actually want to do stuff. So for anyone watching the stream or who keeps track of that kind of stuff, that is currently the rule set that we are using. Yeah, so you guys kind of settle in for the night, as it were. As you guys sit around like a little table that's kind of there, far too small for as many people of you that there is. Dash, I'll say you come in and you can present your findings to Eos.
They didn't have what you were looking for, so I got these apples. I'm sure the quality. Here you go, and the orangey blue fruit. I've seen it a couple of times, but I never actually tried it, so I don't know what it's like. But that's the best I could do.
I've never seen multicolored apples like this before.
I mean, I've seen them come in green and red and brown if you're unlucky enough.
Red apples?
Never had red apples?
No, they're only green at home.
Oh, well, yeah, they generally come in red as well. Haven't seen that kind of yellowish purple? Maybe don't eat that one. I don't think they're supposed to be purple.
You can have the purple one.
Just poke it. Is it squishy?
Yeah.
Probably should have left that one behind, to be honest.
You could return it. Exchange it.
I'm not going back there.
Why? You paid
Shopkeepers, but yeah, but I know people don't seem happy to be given more than a copper piece for some reason. I had to give him a silver piece and he had to give me change. He really wasn't happy about it.
How much change did you take from the man?
8 copper.
So, these oranges with the what is this?
I have no idea. Do you want me to cut it open for you?
I can do that, don't worry. Eos begins peeling it off and looking at it, and she's tasting it.
It has a faint tang to it, like an orange kind of wood, that little back taste of bitterness. But for the most part, it actually tastes sweet like a cherry.
Oh, she's loving that then. Dash, thank you. I'm still up for the week. Thank you.
For the week?
Of course.
That'll do you for a whole week?
It's mostly meditation and thinking. And the weird part of the gooey mess, I could have that in between.
Yeah. Might have an apple.
Thank you. I'll pay you back sometime.
Don't worry about it.
Okay, I won't.
I've definitely stayed in more comfortable places, but I guess this'll do.
This is perfectly sized for me.
It smells like moths.
Yeah, and mouse droppings.
Probably the curtains are absolutely those old net curtains, aren't they?
This place looks like Yeah, like if you took, you know, homebrew local pubs we have here in Ireland, we're very fortunate to have, which have a lot of life in them. But then if you took that and instead it was ran by one single person who's very old for about 25 to 30 years with no help whatsoever. That's what this looks like.
Well, I was thinking if we stay here for a little bit, we can maybe get one, clean this place, and I will give you some change for food and stuff, because this one doesn't look good.
You hear, like, as he says that, he looks down at the little cauldron with the food, and it goes bloop, and a little tentacle rises up and just sits there.
And he hands Dash 1 gold.
Dash, please cash it.
Thank you, Busy. These seem to cause
Who's busy?
more trouble than they're worth. I'm so sorry.
I'll be very busy during the week.
Thank you. Yes, I'll be very busy trying to find someone that will take this. It seems.
Well, there might be
have a thing with names at the moment.
Exchange, right? As it's such a big place, there must be some bank, maybe.
Must be, or yes, a bank. A bank.
Or a
yes.
guild.
Or a
And I
merchant's
think
guild.
it would help us and the owner if somebody professionally would come in to clean this place.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. We could help them out while we're here for the week, absolutely. Why not?
You wish to earn your keep?
No, I wish to pay my keep. Earning's a big word, you know.
I think this man is too old to do it himself, and he doesn't have the money to get someone in, so I think it would be a good idea to assist with that.
That's a good idea, Hatsu. I like that. Yeah, while we're here, I must try meet the people who run this place, and I'll take out the card with the hand on it and just hold that up and see what their story is. It'd be an interesting crew to meet.
Hatsu would call over Ayame as well, but he would talk to her a little bit further off, if that makes sense.
Okay, yep.
Ayame, I'm curious if we might find some people of our faction in these areas.
This far out?
I have a suspicion that the body that we found that was possessed has more of a connection to our area. Would be useful.
Okay, yeah.
Just at least have a look.
Oh, yeah.
If you can.
While I'm here, I'll keep an eye out.
And also keep an eye on Dash. He gets himself in trouble.
At that moment, Dash is just like leaning into the cauldron, a bubble just pops in his eye, like, oh, fuck.
And in that,
Ow.
in there is a Carolina Reaper pepper, just to prepare you.
Why is the spicy in my eyes? Ow.
Don't rub your eyes, Dash.
What am I supposed to do with it?
Lissa just leans you back and pours water on you.
It's spreading.
But it's sparkling water for some reason.
Ow. Why is there carbon dioxide in this water? That's such an unusual sensation. Why do I know what carbon dioxide is?
This pepper has given you the ability to, like, understand the intricacies of science.
I can see colors. Wait, I can always see colors.
I can't feel my legs. Why?
Oh, sorry about that, Dash.
It takes a few moments, but you you get your bearings and the burning stops. What are we doing while we're here?
Discuss that in the morning. I have ideas.
Right. So there are 3 rooms for 8 people.
Yep.
Me personally, I'm happy to go to a much more established inn and like get a big room and just be there.
We could, but we've already paid for this place, and I think for what I have in mind, it's best to be out of the way.
Yes, I guess, and he doesn't look like he's the most observant, so possibly.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like we're roughing it today. This week will be minimal sleep, I can tell you.
We'll see how tomorrow goes.
She looks back down at the pot of food and just contemplates every option she's taken since getting to this point. Or that led her to this point, I should say. My brain is struggling to make words today. Yeah, so the first night passes, and we'll call that the first sort of beginning point of your downtime. Who dareth go first? Oh, Rory was hella fast there, lightning quick.
He was itching for this.
Yeah, his hand, I'm pretty sure his hand was on the way before I even asked the question. Yeah. So, Eos, tell me about your week.
So, Eos is going to be doing relaxation for her downtime, specifically. The way she'll be doing this is she'll be remaining in the room or the next room, depending on what the party decides, for the entirety of the week. Between that, she'll be doing intense trances, meditation, a bit of yoga, and taking nice hot baths to ease her aching shoulder.
Nice. Just R&R.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, you get a lot of time to yourself. It's an easy town to kind of, find something you're looking for, but also to find solace and peace. Like, you can go to a bathhouse to get a bath, but you can get your privacy there. You can be in your room and do your own thing, and you get your privacy there. Mm-hmm. Like, it's easier for you to blend in that aspect of it, at least. But there is a lot of hiding for you as well. So it's a little tricky for you to move around. Besides R&R, is there anything specific you're trying to do for your downtime, or?
And that's all.
That's all?
To regain the words, spell slots.
Yeah. It's not a mega relaxing week because you're not particularly living a modest lifestyle with your choice of accommodation.
Yeah.
But you're basically cured of any sort of like short-term ailments you may have and stuff like that. You're doing okay and you're rested, and once everybody's finished, you can roll your long rest. But basically, you are good to go. That was nice and easy for you.
How did you see my mouse pointing over that? How did you see that?
Is there any specific person you want to speak to, or anything you want to do in your downtime? I've never had such a short interaction with you before in my life.
It is very introspective for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there anything like, for example, prayers and that kind of thing that you do, or?
She notices it has to as a hand up.
Apparently he does. Hatsu, how may I help you?
Hi. Gozaimasu. Hatsu would also stay inside, and he would occasionally talk to Eos, look how she's doing, and he wouldn't take an own room. He would leave her in a room alone, and he would basically rest on in the space between all the rooms, if that makes sense. So he would basically guard all doors, and he would also look for anybody that would go towards Eos' room or whatever.
Yeah.
Just as a side note, he's also there while she's having a downtime.
Thanks, man.
Nice. because we're gonna have a very fast week. Is there?
No, it wasn't over.
Yeah,
I was just didn't want to interrupt Rory.
Yeah, that's your crossover.
Just show he knows.
Yeah,
perfect.
Hatsu's
I love
there.
that. That's really cool, man.
Yeah,
she's very much thinking about the journey up to this point. Just what's the word? Just thinking over what could have not happened in certain situations, and she's certainly learning to really appreciate the group's whole efforts to hide her in ways. Like, she always thought she had a handle on it. You know, put up, look down. If anyone asks her, I'm a storyteller. Start walking away from them as much as you can. Hide underneath trees, be out of the way. But she understands the group is making great, arduous efforts to help her with this.
Yeah.
And I suppose she's seeing them more than just her colleagues, they are her friends. It's the first time she's really had a friendship apart from the horse.
That's really nice. I like that.
Yes. So she's reflecting.
Nice. Retrospective. Tis the season. Yeah, hell yeah. I mean, that's nice and easy.
Yeah, that is it.
I'm suspicious. It's too easy.
Make the next one really difficult for you. I climb a mountain. I slay the dragon during the week.
Small dragon.
A small dragon. Yeah, a pseudo dragon. You kind of just stepped on it.
It's a river drake.
Yeah, easy. I mean, it's no complaints here. That's a very, very easy downtime. Who wants to go next? No worries, yeah.
Since we're already at that part, quick and easy.
That's what they call me.
As I said, Hatsu would wait for Dash to bring somebody in.
So fast, it's so good. I love that. Sorry, go ahead, Hatsu.
To bring somebody in to clean everything up. Nice. He would basically guard the stairs and the rooms on top. He would also meditate a lot, and the most important thing for him, besides his routines, he would properly clean his sword with some rose oil that he's got on him and kind of his utility kit. And he would make sure that all his gear is top-notch, sharp, and everything. And one of the days, he would ask Slate while he would walk around, while he would catch him, and he would go, Slate, may I ask something from you?
Of course.
Since you're very good with blending into crowded spaces and dragging focus, do you think it would be possible to maybe find some lore, some fairy tales about this region? Maybe there's something hidden within these stories that would help us to understand what is further north.
Slade interlocks his hands and cracks all his fingers, and he goes, what do you think I was going to be doing? That's my plan for the week. I'm going to hit every tavern, every back alley, every game of cards, every ship that sailors come off of. I'm going to be busy. But you know yourself, people talk, so I'll find out.
Just wanted to be sure. Don't lose your color, buddy.
While we're talking, I'm going to show Hatsu again the mark that was on my arm that was underneath the bracer or the gauntlet that I had, and I'm going to say, I don't know how to follow up on something like this. How do you subtly find out what something like this means without giving the game away to someone who knows what it means by showing it around?
Well, when I try to find these things out, I always ask people that are knowledgeable with sigils, signs, and written down stuff, if you know what I'm saying.
Got it. Don't ask Dash. Got it.
That's pretty good advice, to be honest.
Yeah, but that would basically be Hatzel's downtime.
Nice. You don't want to do anything specific. You're going to spend time just helping around the tavern and that kind of thing.
As long as Ayame is doing what he asked her to do, he's absolutely fine.
Okay. I'll say... what's the best way to do this? Make a... You can have athletics or acrobatics. If you have any tool that you're proficient in, you can choose one and make a roll in that. And I'll just say those two are fine. That'll do.
All right. That's dirty 20 for acrobatics. And then there is a 5 for the tools.
5 for the tools.
Well, you know what? I use my inspiration. I'm gonna reroll that. That's a 12 for the tools.
12. So, in terms of getting the place cleaned up, the crew does a really good job that you hire. With the Dirty 20, like, they get everything basically done and set up and really well taken care of. But the only thing that they couldn't really deal with was spots of mold. So you use your alchemy set to try and come up with some sort of contraption or chemical, rather, that can, not contraption, chemical, that can help remove that mold from this place. The last remaining semblance of whatever needs to be done here, right? At first, you're not figuring it out. It takes a little bit of time for you to get your head around it, a couple of failed experiments, but eventually you figure out a suitable way to get rid of it so that it won't just immediately come back, not just cleaning it away so it comes back in a month or two. You want something that lasts, and yeah, you get your head around it and you manage to get that done. The tavern itself is looking really good. The rooms for the latter half of the stay there are much better quality as well. You guys get a better rest from it. It's a nicer thing. Yeah, overall you did a great job. I'll come back to Ayame and Lissa at the end, so just gonna see what you guys are up to first before I figure out what we're doing with the NPCs. Yeah, is there anything else busy that you'd like to do, Ratsu?
No, he's perfectly fine.
Perfect. Before I finish that sentence, I saw Kian's hand go up, so I'll jump to Dash.
I thought you were about to go to who's next. I was like, me.
Go ahead, buddy.
Yeah. So for my downtime, I want to commit some crimes.
Oh, shocking. Okay.
Shocking.
Tell me more about the kind of crimes you want to commit and how you're intending to commit said crimes. So
the intention here is I want to enlist Lissa's help since I lack the 25 gold pieces for gathering information. We're hoping to plug that gap with hopefully using Lissa.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the intention anyway. How it plays out, we'll see. So what I'm looking to do is I want to try to get the attention of the Thieves Guild, but I don't want to kind of just, try to rock up to a bar and use Tag and Talk to try and find them. I want to go to them kind of already with a reputation, so I'm trying to commit a crime that's, that'll be financially rewarding for the party, but also kind of catch the attention of the Thieves Guild, like, that wasn't one of ours who's done that. So kind of looking at maybe a merchant or someone relatively well known in the town and take something of note that I could then perhaps present to the guild and be like, yep, that was me, that kind of thing. That's what I'm aiming for, and obviously some gold along the way as well.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm happy to assist with that in terms of my plan that I've already said is to be going through the shipyards, the docks, the taverns, etc., and I'm sure that if I came across a mark, shall we say, or somebody of substance or from a particular establishment or whatever, that I would point them in your direction and make sure that you became acquainted, or say, find out their schedule to pass it on to you or whatever. So I definitely would be up for assisting in that.
Sounds good to me.
Okay. I would say, in terms of being like this is for once not me bullying you. This is just something I have to sort of twist here a little bit. In terms of playing with D&D fairly, I would say that the gold has to come from one of you or multiple of you if you can assemble that much, rather than leaning on the NPCs to do it, because that could be an infinite resource technically and that kind of thing. So if you can muster up or scrounge up the gold, I'll go ahead and I'll do it, but I will help you and say I'll give you like +2 to whatever modifier you're choosing to go with. Not like as in if you're adding additional gold or doing anything to make it better, you can have a +2 on top of that as well, as this kind of an inconvenience. But yeah, I would avoid going with NPCs for gold costs just because they are like a potentially fun, like infinite
I would
resource.
say if Hatsu would get note of that, he would also give him a diamond.
Okay.
But he would ask Slate in privacy to keep an eye on him, how he's handling that.
The very first thing I do is I check with Hatsu which diamond is bigger, because if his diamond is bigger, I'll take that and he can have mine.
Oh, they're all the same.
How nice is that? But if that's okay with you, Kian, then yeah, I'll give you the +2 on that. Is that okay?
Yeah,
Sure.
I'm good with that.
Perfect. Hell yeah.
Thank you, Hatsu. Don't say anything to Eos just yet.
You just turn slightly left and Eos is just standing there beside Hatsu.
Just takes the cucumbers off her eyes.
Don't worry about
Find
it.
somebody that is changing the diamond from gold. You might also be able to find somebody that changes copper to silver.
Fair.
Not that I would condone it, but if a business transaction was to occur and the diamond was a payment, if that person was to search their pockets after the agreement and find said diamond was missing, I wouldn't be opposed to that either.
There's some amount of honor amongst thieves.
I mean,
Some. I didn't say how much.
needs must. If we need it more, that's all I'm saying.
She's
Yeah,
already
well.
playing with the diamond. Like she already has it.
We'll keep an eye on it. Yeah, if that works for you, DM, then
That's perfect. That is, yeah, much more agreeable. Okay. So you want to sort of scout out a merchant, someone of enough note that might catch someone's ear if they were robbed, that kind of thing, right?
yeah.
All right, let's take a look at crime. So let's choose your DC here. You have to spend at least 25 gold pieces gathering information, but I believe you can add more to that. You're going to have to make 3 checks, and you can choose the DC. So DC of 10 is 50 gold pieces, robbery of a struggling merchant. 15 DC is 100 gold pieces, robbery of a prosperous merchant. DC of 20 is 200 gold pieces, robbery of a noble. DC of 25 is 1,000 gold pieces, robbery of one of the richest figures in town.
I don't think we're ready for that 25 just yet. So I'll probably sit down during the day with, I guess, Lissa and Slate and kind of talk over the options.
You understand the risks as well, just sorry, of failure in this and success?
I do.
You do?
Yep.
Okay.
I do, yeah. So, I would like to go for, let's say, a nobleman, but I think the call would be one of the wealthier merchants in town. Let's be honest, who wants to rob a struggling merchant? That's just shooting fish in a barrel. Feels a bit mean. But I think a fairly well-off noble could grab the right attention.
Yes, but I mean, every town has a mayor. Every mayor has a vault.
Yes, but we also have another mission that I'd rather not be in jail for.
Yes, but I would escape with the loot. And then I could pay for
or
the
maybe
release.
you don't. So, and then we cut into our profit margins.
Some things are worth it.
Just to see me in jail and laugh at me? How about you take the fall on this one, if it goes wrong?
No. I think you are a well-trained patsy.
Slate, what are your thoughts?
I'm far more charming. If anyone has to talk somebody out of something, you know.
I scratch my head and just turn into Dash, and I go, if anyone's taking the fall, they're going to look like you.
Slate, if you transform in public once more, I'm going to stab you. Well, in that case, if all the risk is going to be on my head, merchant it is.
Fair enough. I didn't realize you were so weak-willed. It's a shame.
This pragmatic, my dear. Bigger targets later. There's a reason for this. We're going for a longer-term gain. Short-term goal is fine, but what the fuck do we do with it out here?
Fine. A noble it is. So the DC is set as 20. Yeah.
I said merchant.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, you said merchant. Sorry, I thought you said noble.
Prosperous merchant.
Oh, that was an accidental one. My apologies. Yeah.
Yeah, like, Jesus, no, not going for the 25 DC.
No, I thought you were going for the 20 DC. Sorry, my apologies. So you're going for the 15?
I thought you were trying to talk me into the 20. Yeah,
Alright, 15. No, sorry.
15. I'm out of practice. I gotta, break it back in. This is a performative crimes more so than anything.
Okay.
Also, I haven't rolled a dice yet today, so I don't know what way they're going to fall.
Yeah, I'm just setting everything up here for you. So, okay. To attempt the crime, the way it's going to work is you're going to make 3 checks. You're going to make a stealth check, naturally. Not yet. Relax. We have ways to go. So you're going to have I saw you like moving your mouse and getting ready. We have a stealth check. And then you'll have dexterity check using your thieves' tools. And then your choice of investigation, perception, or deception, okay? So what that means is we have a few things. One is that you will be rolling blindly to me, which means that I will know, and even you will not know what happened.
Oh, Lord.
Actually, I'll let you see because... Oh, you don't have inspiration, do you? You just use it?
I do have inspiration.
Okay, then I'll let you see. You'll see, but nobody else will. And we'll reveal it as we go to make the narrative fit. But before we kick into that, I want to know how you're scoping out this dude, who you're kind of... What your target kind of is, what you're feeling here, so I can point you in the right direction.
Cool. Well, I guess taking the lead from Slate, he would kind of be keeping an eye on the docks and the taverns. He would likely spot a specific target coming in from the docks that would fit. So I'll just be kind of in the area and wait for kind of a signal or a nod from Slate, and then just try to blend in the crowd. Just kind of looking at different markets, or walking with Lissa, doing that whole if he turns around, public display of affection to avert eyes, that kind of thing. That's what I'm going for. But just keep tabs on him then to follow, see where he or she goes.
From Slate's experience of Penzance, and fishing and boats coming and going. Slate would be looking for, it'd be pretty easy to spot a captain coming in that's heavily laden, that the crew are in good spirits. They've been allowed shore leave, they're being paid to go, that's why they go to the tavern, because they get their money, etc. So it's pretty easy to see if it's the ship owner or the captain or whoever, if they have goods to trade, if their pockets are full. It's pretty quick to see which ship has done well and which ship hasn't. You get to know just by the look of the crew. Never mind anything else. You can tell how their voyage has been. And by how they celebrate and what they talk about once they land in the tavern, where I would be as well, so.
Okay. So you guys are listening out, trying to gain information together. Slate, I'm going to give you the option to help him here, but I'm going to give it to you on one of the checks. So the big first check is going to be his ability to pick up on what's going on. So that would be his intelligence check, or his stealth check, first of all, to hide. But his second check, is going to be pick up on things, which is intelligence. And then the final check that I'm going to get from him is his tools, to see if he can actually get in and get out with it. So you can help him on whichever check you want. I would argue that probably the one where he gets the choice of intelligence, wisdom, or deception, would be the best place for him to take advantage because of what you're doing to assist him here. But I will give him advantage on that roll. And if you're helping him on further parts, I might consider advantage on that too. I'm not saying you can only help him with one, just based on what you're describing. I'll give him one for the moment.
The aim of the game is to help him as much as I can while not being at the front, because that's not my style, even from previous attempts to get into vaults, etc. So it's the same kind of idea. I'll step in when absolutely necessary. So I would try and go hand in hand with him where possible and assist in any way that I can throughout.
Cool. That makes the most sense. Dash. Let's start with your first roll. I'm going to need stealth from you.
Stealth, okay. And are we doing the +2 to this?
Yeah, you're going to have +2 to all of these rolls here. Because I made it a bit more difficult with the gold thing, but... yeah.
Okay, you can see that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The next roll, technically, you have advantage with for Richard helping you, but that's going to be your choice of investigation, perception, or deception, depending. This is going to be your ability to learn what's happening. You'll have advantage with this and a +2 situational bonus.
Cool. I shall be going for deception on this one. This would be the kind of play where, the Dash and Lissa team that I've done so often distract and let her kind of get the in.
Yeah, no worries. Cool. And then the last roll is going to be your Thieves' Tools, to see if you're able to procure what you're trying to procure.
I'll use my inspiration on that one.
For anyone who just heard that sound through the stream, that was a nat 1. Inspiration is definitely advised.
Ooh, yep.
It rolled onto that one again and then just barely teetered off it, man. Okay. Right. Okay. So you spent some time working on the merchants. You're trying to figure out who's the best target and who's the most worthy target. Because realistically, you don't want to target someone who's just genuinely a nice person or someone you can put down. But at the same time, you want to kind of figure out who is the most appropriate target in this case. You spend some time moving in and out of the market with Lissa and Slate, trying to figure out what your best course of action is. Nobody ever sees you with a stealth of 24. Even your own party struggles sometimes to keep an eye on you. This is the most in your element you've felt in quite a while. You hear a merchant who ticks just every box for you. They catch a child stealing food from them. Probably food they need to survive. The child does not look like they have the means of just swinging by the market. And the actions that they take, well, it upsets you to an intense degree. So your target is acquired.
I might just add to that as well. You know the thing we agreed before the start of the campaign I mentioned?
Yes.
Yeah, well, you'll see it come up in your DM screen anyway. You'll know what I'm doing.
Okay. Okay, got it.
Yep.
So, I'll let you just grab that in a second. We'll get to that in a second. You're 18 of deception. You don't just want to make it unknown. You kind of almost want to make it known that you see them. So you tell them, you know, your name is Dash. You're from Palperoth. You lean into it heavily. You make them dislike you, using honesty as your crutch. But you make them feel like there's an opportunity for them to manipulate you. Like you're clueless, like you don't have a choice, like you're just some Palperothian idiot who wandered through. He challenges you by inviting you to an underground card game. And you accept. I mean, why wouldn't you? You enter the...
I love cards.
You enter the card game. It's in one of the other taverns downstairs, and there's a bunch of the merchants that are there. Some seem nice, some seem more into it. But what catches your eye is the lockbox that he has stored under the table, where his preceding gold comes from. And I mean gold. He's sitting on a lot of wealth for a merchant of this town. You try and sneak it out from underneath the table, and with your original Nat 1, you have a bit of difficulty getting the lockbox open without drawing too much attention to yourself. But just as he's about to sort of spot you and see, okay, this guy's up to something, someone else goes all in and catches his eye again, as if by fortuitous luck. Lissa just winks at you. You slide the lockbox over, and beneath the table, barely even looking, you turn the key. You turn your lockpick. Click. It's perfect. Everything was perfect. You just knock your bag over slightly so it's open. You lean over and you're like, oh, I'm so sorry. You lean down and you just shovel some gold in, close the box again. You hear the click that it locked again. You slide it back across. You go all in. You lose your 2 silver pieces that you place down for this bet, but you get a lot more from it with your 26 as you walk away. List is soon following you. That would be 3 successes, so you may add 200 gold to your inventory. And we all get a stern reminder that Dash actually is quite capable as a rogue, but I'll never tell him. Yeah. You make your way back to the group, and with that...
So he pays back the diamond with interest, gotcha.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, I actually meant to say that. Yeah, you use the diamond to barter your way into the table. That's the... that would be the logic to that, I suppose. I forgot that you put the diamond in.
Yeah, so I'll just mark the diamond off.
Yeah. That was your buy-in or whatever.
Yeah. Wonderful. That's marked off.
I almost forgot you're good at this.
Oh, it's nice to flex the muscles again. I feel like I needed a bit of a training exercise. I would have kind of tried to make a note of during the card game as well to subtly tap on the table and Taki talk. kind of what would I be trying to say? Looking for contacts, I guess, in Akitalk, and not necessarily looking out to see if anyone is paying attention, but hoping that someone has been, and then leave it at that. And then I suppose I'd meet Slate on the way and just kind of give him a big thumbs up, flash of the bag, and keep walking back towards the rest of the group.
Cool. Yeah, you make your way back, and there it is.
Yeah. Excellent work, Slate. We make a fucking fine team.
It's nice when it works out.
Absolutely. And you get to see a bit of how myself and Lissa worked in Palperos. You might have some fun when we get there. Oh, I think we can make some good coin.
I mean, I think we did, but yeah, I definitely think we could.
I mean, 200 gold coins is not to be sniffed at. Especially in these parts. And going back up into the tavern then, I assume this is kind of approaching the end of our downtime, is it?
For you, yeah, not for Richard. He still has to go through his, but yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Once that's over, then I'd have a chat with Eos, but let Richard have his run.
Cool. Yeah, go ahead. Absolutely, feel free.
So I have lots of small but quick things I want to do, but quite a lot of them. The first one is over the course of the week, any opportunity there was, considering we were doing up the place we were staying, cleaning it, etc., I think I would make an effort to dispose of, disinfect, and or start again the food that was cooking, whatever needed to be, using my experience with cooking, and I try and make it something healthier, safer, and a couple of times during the week, obviously any opportunity that was there like that, I would like to continue cooking and working on my skills using local ingredients, etc. That's just a small thing, The main thing I wanted to do is, it's kind of a mixture of two things in terms of the downtime. So carousing is obviously, drinking, partying, talking to people, being whatever, but actually I wanted to work, because as a bard, that is how I work in the taverns, is playing music and getting all of that going. So it's a kind of a mix. I wanted to go through the taverns and do the usual, put the hat out, play the songs, see if I can pick up some coins here or there. So that's what I want to do for the week. And obviously over the course of the week, if I found a place that had a better clientele, had a higher energy, and I was able to, on the first night or two, once I found them, show them that I can increase their business, then I would like to go back. And if you get me, do like a set, if you know what I mean, and be there for the evening and try and properly earn that they would know I would be there and give permission, because it's a works for each other type of thing. That would be my plan from a work perspective. And then after that, I just have loads of information that I want to look to pick up over the course of the week with all of the different people that I'd be playing with, drinking with, and be in the pub. So I have a couple of just really small pieces of information I'm looking for.
So I would give you one or the other in terms of how we roll this, okay?
Yep.
You can either do work where you get paid like an encounter, as like your downtime was just you doing a job and seeing how well you did. Mm-hmm. The other side is then you could do something like just research. This could all be part of how you did your research. The research one itself has a cost, which obviously the work one doesn't. So I would leave it up to you which route you'd rather take with that. But I would probably do one or the other based on what you've described there. So it's a little bit up to you how you want to proceed.
Well, the information I'm looking for, maybe I'll ask that and see which they fit into. that would help make the decision. So I want to get some general information on where we are, just things like basic information on the docks, if there's a bank, if there's guilds, if there's, who's the local gang or the local law enforcement, who are the biggest groups. So I don't need to know details, just generically speaking, the name or the color scheme or the just stuff I would pick up from. It's that kind of low level but helpful information that I'm looking to get over the course of the week from patrons, basically.
Nothing specific or set in stone, but at the same time it's like just casual town information, in which case local downtime makes sense. So
and specifically when I wanted the crescendo of the information is I want to get into the habit of talking and drinking and finding out what people do for work, and you work on the docks, there's lots of ships, so how often do you come in and out, this kind of stuff. And then depending on where I go, I want to build up to asking about things like outsiders, and then knowing that there's mostly humans there, then talking about if there's anything that isn't humans there and how often they're there. And again, I'm trying to build up to our mission and who we're trying to meet, and trying to hear about anything that would lead me to a particular district or a zone or an area or a story or a rumor or something that would help us locate who we're looking for, but not in a, hey, this is the only thing I'm interested in talking about kind of way. So over the course of the week, I can sort of ask people over and over in different ways. And as I go to a particular tavern, if I get a whiff of something that kind of works, I go back to that area and ask again, and then, start moving taverns in the direction of, where I was told to go, basically. So that's the crescendo of the information. That's kind of what I want to build, to just local stuff and then try and find out.
Right.
And I think that might help us with our main mission in terms of where to go or how to proceed.
Okay. Yeah, so you get a few different things. We're going to do the work downtime then, so you can earn a little bit of coin.
Perfect.
Coin some coin. Earn a little bit of coin. See what you're doing. As I struggle to talk. And you can... Yeah, this should be fairly straightforward for you. And what I'll say then is you can give... Let's see what we do. So the way the checks work for wages, you can have there's 4 categories of what bracket you'll fit into. I'll say with the lowest bracket you learn nothing, not earn nothing. You'll still earn what you earn. You'll learn nothing. With each subsequent one, I'll let you ask me 2 questions up to a maximum of 6 then for the third one. So that makes the most sense, right? And then I can give you the answers. That probably would be a bit better. I'll give you general information that would be local information. I'll give you 6 more specific or niche questions, then probably be the easiest. So yeah, that's probably the easiest way I can think of to do it. So to determine how much you earn and doing this particular downtime, you're going to make an ability check of athletics. Sorry, 1 second. Okay, so you can make three of your... Oh, no, sorry, it's one of your choices. Sorry. Okay, so you can make either athletics, acrobatics, intelligence using a set of tools, or charisma performance, or charisma using a musical instrument. So it's up to you. I would probably lean into the instrument since that's what you're doing.
Yeah, I think I'll go for performance, because it's going to be a mixture of playing music, telling stories, trying to befriend people. Okay. So I think that's how I would see it going.
If there's a way... since Slate was helping Dash, we would have been together. I could possibly reverse that and help out as well if he's, selling Tories. Yes, I will sell Tories.
Man, we're just struggling today. Yeah,
telling stories and stuff. I'll help with that.
Yeah, I'll give you advantage. That's the flip back on that. So
perfect.
You guys are pretty woven into your downtimes together, so it makes sense.
So do you want me to make, for the course of the week, 3 performance checks to be the equivalent of 3 nights of performing in 3 separate locations? Something like that?
You just give me one with advantage, but we'll say it's over the time, because the downtime itself, the category of downtime for work, is just a roll. So
perfect. So 22.
22. As far as I know, it's just a success. Yeah, 22 is literally 21 plus is the top level. So you get 25 gold pieces. You also live a comfortable lifestyle. They take care of you. So they feed you good food and take care of you and do that kind of thing. And you earn 25 gold pieces. Just make sure you add that to your sheet.
I'm going to add that right now before I forget.
Thank you, yeah. And then... Yeah, that's it. So what I want from you as well, if you don't mind, is just a D6 as well, please.
Yeah. D6. 5.
Thank you. Oh my god. That is just perfect, man. Okay. So you hit a complication table. A complication table is something that can happen during downtime. It's 10% chance that'll happen. It happened to be you. Number 5 on the work week downtime table, and I am not joking, you can check this in Xanathar, is a crime ring targets your business for extortion. I'm not even joking. That is fantastic.
I feel like they might have seen me hanging around during the week. There might have been a crossover, and they're like, they keep seeing me, so okay.
So what I'll get you to do is, you have your 6 questions. Let's start there.
So in relation to the 6 questions, what I would have done over the course of the week, the first night would be get the lay of the land and find out the local gossip and just basic stuff and know where I'm going and where the different places were. Then I would go back, and over the course of the week, I would have spoken with the rest of the party to explain to them that this is what I was endeavoring to do, and I would have asked them what is it that we as a group need to find out, so that if and when I have an opportunity to talk with somebody, what do we as a group think are the most important things I need to try and ferret out, because that's what I'm going to be doing. So if anybody in the group would have chimed in on that conversation and had anything to say about what they feel Slate should look for during the week, after he's articulated that's his plan, I'm just looking for what people think would be important.
I got distracted by this wild druid that's attacking me, so I missed the start of that.
It's fine. So what I'll say is happening here is, as a group, you have 6 questions, but I'm going to make sure that Slate okays each question because it's his technically. But you guys can contribute questions for this. 6 questions about the town. Some of them may involve checks if they're particularly super difficult questions in some capacity, but for the most part, I'll give you information anyway. It just you might get more from a check, just if it's a particular question that might be more difficult to ascertain than just generic questions.
You also want to know.
Who founded this town?
Okay.
Where did the boats come from, and why are they inside lakes?
Find out any local legends. Legends as in Ken's definition of legends, like Orla.
So local people of note, is that what you mean by legends? Like people of note? Yeah. Yep.
I don't actually know if Orla's a legend, but
yeah. Myths, fairy tale stories, that kind of stuff that are local. And are they loyal to the king?
It's your first question anywhere you go.
Take or leave that one.
So I'm going to say rumors. One of the things we heard while traveling here was rumors of creature sightings. Somebody said something about a werewolf. That kind of a thing. Is that where we're going with this? I'm saying this to the group, so I'm asking us that. We all okay with that?
Contributions, people. Contributions.
Yes.
Here we go.
Sorry, I thought he was entering RP there. I was like, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to ask exactly that. Yeah.
Okay, so feed me the question.
All right, so I'll start with asking about the people of note, the people that would be known far and wide in the town. So anybody of note for any particular reason that the people would gossip about, talk about, or know things about. So like that, legends of the local area.
Yeah, so the most notable person in this town is the mayor, Aldous. She is mayor, and she has been for... I don't even know if I wrote that down. It would have been a long time. She... Most notably, they had gotten through a problem in 1515, basically, where a group of mercenaries passing through Broadeer had attempted to extort the town, but she didn't bow down to threats and instead negotiated with them, offering supplies in exchange for their assistance in fortifying the town's defenses. Some people would say that those mercs are still here in some capacity, in some way, protecting the town, but you wouldn't know it. There are guards on the force and stuff like that, and that would be the tail end of what was built in that time. I think that was just the question. She would be the most notable person. The other people are mostly just local people who just live here. They don't have anything massive going on. It's not the kind of place you'd read about in a paper or anything like that.
So then, if she's the most notable person in the town, and it's quite a big place, then obviously a lot of everybody else are everyday folk and they're all busy. We can tell from coming in that there's some kind of industry involving docks and boats. Again, I would be familiar from that from Penzance, but I would be looking to understand about how the industry works. Like, what is it they're bringing in? What is coming back and forth? What's the lifeblood of the town? So usually, like, if it's a coal mine, the whole town revolves around that. If it's whatever, so like Penzance's fish. So I guess, what's the story with the boats? What's the biggest industry in the town? What connects everybody?
Ice and fish. The boats and everything is for various different sections where it is most advantageous to fish fry, to go ice fishing. You get some of the best in the entire of Vulcanus here. It's a big industry, and they actually have exports where they can send it out to other towns and stuff like that. Penzance would be one of those towns. They have a small access to amount of fish, but they do import fish from, for the podcast listeners, there is Kian's druid wild shape has happened. There's a cat attacking his webcam. Yeah, so it would be, but this is where the main hub is for the rest of of the Vulcanus. Anyone here would be
yeah, so a lot of the businesses are fish related. They're, processing, packaging, shipping, they ship it to whatever.
Hartwell probably as well, you would assume. And anywhere else that happens to be on this particularly desolate island.
So then again, about the rumors of creatures and sightings, seeing as pretty much everyone, as we're aware, is human in the area, that we have heard, or somebody told me in the previous pub the other night type of deal. What's this about? Some kind of creature, or was it a werewolf, or what were they talking about? What's all this kind of nonsense? What are we dealing with? I keep hearing about this. What's the story with that, or what's the local legend, gossip, rumor, whatever?
Yeah, so anyone you would mention a werewolf to, they would kind of shrug. They don't even know what you're really talking about if you describe it. They would just think you're kind of I don't know what the word is. You're kind of whimsical and charismatic in your tales as a bard. Let's call it that.
Yeah, talking nonsense.
Yeah, it's chalked up to you just being an exaggerating kind of person because that's your performance kicking in rather than you being crazy.
So nothing comes back at all about any types of creatures, sightings, anything like that. Perfect. So that's 3.
You don't have to use every question if you don't want to. Don't pressure yourself. I think we have a few though.
Yeah, I think they were the main, because we've got the boat, the industry, the key people, the legends, and rumors about creatures or anything like that. Unless anybody has anything they think I've missed from our group discussions.
Loyalty to the king.
Then obviously it was who founded the town, the history of the town. But I think, yeah.
Who founded the town? It was founded over 1,000 years ago in 551 by a group of fishermen who discovered the rich fishery in the frozen lake. Over time it grew and prospered, and just became bigger and bigger. They don't make massive amounts of coin here. That it's not really possible. It's the only industry, but it is an industry, and it is their industry, and it's what they make the most doing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the lifeblood. I mean, it keeps everyone alive, and having a job, and having a purpose, and having a filled belly is enough for most. Yeah, fair.
Also, fish from like Broderdeer would be something that even in places like Palperoth, they would get trails of. It would be a coveted item there, but like it would have a reach to it, if that makes sense. Like people love this fish.
Hearing all this about the fish and knowing that, you know, they reckon it's the best fish in Vulcanus and that it's, you know, wanted all over and shipped, etc. I would like to find out what kind of fish is it. For example, we know you can get these, you know, mega tunas that are worth like thousands and thousands or hundreds of thousands for a fish. So I want to find out what are the exotic, expensive, what kind of money, if we were at like a top end, a lucky catch, what would we be talking about?
A lot of silver they'd be dealing with, not necessarily gold, but like gold would be their high end. They would just be dealing with like mostly silver in this kind of town. It's not like a rich economy, like I said, so silver for them is a big deal. So they're dealing with like silver towards electrum, I'd say.
Quantity over quality.
Right. They're outputting a lot of fish. Market merchants, like traveling merchants and stuff like that, like that's the big one, because those of them who have figured out how to package fish and actually bring it around the Isles and stuff like that, and the ones who can afford to do that, they make a good bit more money because they can charge more when they get to those other destinations who can't get the fish. So that's like export is their biggest economy driver. That's why there's so many boats out there selling fish.
So the last thing that I want to do for my sixth question is starting to go down the rabbit hole of the fish, seeing as that's where everything is going in this town. I would have spent some time during the week for my sixth and final one to find somebody who has some kind of a, I don't know what you want to call it, contract, invoice, docket for the fish to see where they send what in a quantity, just to understand what it is. So I would just want to converse with somebody and find an opportunity to look at one of those dockets so I can physically see it.
I'd say roll for investigation. I'm going to set the DC as 15.
Okay. Investigation. That'll be a 6.
Yeah. As I said, you'll always get something. You just may not get what you asked for in these cases with this, because you already did succeed in you're getting your 6 questions and your 6 answers. It was just how you get them.
Yep.
You find out that the dockets aren't really available, but it's because once the request is done, either the merchant takes it and they leave, or the mayor has it because they have the copy. So everything is filtered through the mayor before it's sent out of this town. So you get certain information that arguably may be useful, it's just not exactly what you're looking for.
Yeah, perfect. That's it for the main part of my week, and then I have a few small things that I wanted to do.
Okay.
So at one point I would have touched base with Eos just to find out how she's faring, cabin fever, did she want anything while I was out over the course of the week, anything I could pick up, see, find out for her. And I think at one point I definitely would have a discussion with Eos about ways that I might be able to help her in future in a jam, and I think I would take a moment to jot them down and hand it to her so she has an idea of some of the options that I could afford her in a pinch if she feels like she needs to look different or get out of a jam.
So Rory, I'll deflect to you there.
You'd find her, she hasn't been happier in months. She loves solitude. Absolutely loving it. She's made like this beautiful little space by window, just all of the pillows in the room, blanket, everything just absolutely spot on as it is. She'd be very sad to leave, actually. As for ways to help her in the future, she would gravitate towards the fact that she thinks you're an incredibly great distraction. Like, she's above impressed by how well you do it. She doesn't think you can perfect that art. That's my aspiration in life, to be called a great distraction.
And then I have other things to do, but I'm going to stick with EOS while we're working with EOS. Towards seeing that EOS is having such a nice week, I would keep this to the latter part of the week. Towards the end of the week, I would, again, find her in solitude. I would knock on the door, and I would just produce the book and be like...
Oh.
So I'd say to EOS, we have some unfinished business. I think we made some
You just got the stress out of her, and now.
So I didn't interrupt during the week.
Her hands on her shoulder.
Let her have the week to relax, and I just bring it up that this is something that we should discuss and potentially revisit sooner rather than later.
I guess we should, but within the.
I think it'd be rude not to talk to the book again. I mean, they're waiting for a response.
It's wasted a millennia, as far as I'm concerned. But surely you could wait until we're back in the Arcanum in the safety of others. I'm sure the old man downstairs only has 1 or 2 hot breeds left in him.
I'm definitely going to talk to the book. I just didn't want to do it without you, but I'm totally okay to talk to the book alone.
I'll talk to it with you, but is this the right place? Is this the right time?
I mean, we're alone. The door is closed. It's just us. We have the book. How bad can it be? It's a book.
Which book are you talking about?
Did you guys hear that tone shift a few minutes ago?
Set the dogs off and everything.
These doors are very thin.
So I presume that means that's Hatsu at the door because the wall is thin. So it's your room, apparently.
Hatsu's just looking through a hole in the wall.
Yeah. Hatsu gives me apples through the hole. Hatsu, this is this book is a situation in itself. There's a soul trapped inside of it. They can teleport our minds into the pages between the lines.
I mean, I've heard about soul traveling, but never about soul trapping.
To be perfectly fair to my friend who wants me to kill it.
Why would you trap somebody's soul in a book to kill it?
I don't know. Slate found it somewhere.
Also, this book apparently knows things about me that I don't even know about me.
It really likes Slate for some reason.
Maybe the book has just the ability to read your mind better than you do.
You know, I think that's a great hypothesis. I think you should touch the book. We should all touch the book. You should talk to the book. And then we should talk again. Because seeing is believing, my friend.
And who is doing the guard when I'm touching a trapped soul?
I presume Ayami is around if it's of an evening. So
She has other business to do. Well, what if you touch the book and I guard you touching the book?
Ayami leans in from behind the hole and she just waves. And then she goes just back.
I'm going to make this easy on everybody. I open the book, just put my hands onto the book. So it's up to anybody to join me if they want to join me.
That's definitely is on guard and has his left hand on the sword. For sure.
Yes, with her left hand. Here we go.
Do I have any idea what's happening?
Do you want to have any idea what's happening?
Well, they mentioned the book, but I'm just like, would I actually hear them or notice anything?
Roll a
Just
d20
hold
for
the
me.
walls, the door is open.
There's no pictures in the book.
Just roll a d20, just like a normal.
No pictures? Oh, I don't care about it then. D20. 2.
Odds and evens. Dash, you're walking past to go find the latrine. Normally you wouldn't use it here, you'd wait till you go out, but you know, needs must. But yeah, I'll say you walk past and they're kind of at the tail end of this discussion. Slate and Eos just slam their hands down on the book. Hatsu's holding a sword, so you can tell something's up.
What you guys reading?
Eos is just having a seizure.
They didn't touch the book yet, it's just a coincidence.
I think they're not reading. I think they're getting read.
What you would
Getting
see,
Something like that.
her eyes are pitch black. Wide open.
Getting red. Well, the ink is clearly run into Eos's eyes. Did the book get wet?
I don't think this is not what's happening. But how can I help you? You want to touch it?
I mean, it's a book. I haven't touched a book since I was a kid.
As far as I understood, there is some kind of interaction between something that is trapped inside the book and anybody that is touching the book.
Oh, is that the old guy? I think I heard them mention that before. They really shouldn't touch that book.
Why didn't they talk about it earlier?
Considering the effect it's having on Eos's face, that's probably why.
So it's kind of a drug.
Drug or something evil and dangerous. Should we cut their hands off?
I would if I have to, I guess.
Lissa, you're going to want to see this.
I just fell asleep.
Since I know I can cut sigils and steel, I'm very tempted to cut things just to know how far my cuts go.
Lissa leans in and she looks over at Eos in the book, and she gets a fright more than anything. She runs over trying to pull Eos away to help her, and she becomes stationary. Her eyes become jet black.
Lissa's as well.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh. So it's just myself, Hatsu, and Ayami that are just standing here watching what's happening.
Ayami is mimicking Hatsu's pose. She has her hand on the actual hilt, ready to grab her sword if necessary. She's not really sure what to make of it.
Hatsu looks over to Dash, and you could read from his demeanor that he's very serious. And he would look at Dash and he would say, well, I think you're the only one that has experience to break free of these kind of mental prisons. You should assist her.
This isn't the first time they've gone in there. They've come out before. We'll just slowly take out a dagger. Maybe we just wait and see what happens this time. If they're not out in 5 minutes, I'll follow them.
You don't understand. You had help last time when you had the trial of Remington. They don't have this luxury, I guess. But you are experienced in these kind of scenarios, I think. And I think you're strong enough to solve them.
Yeah, but I'd rather avoid them if possible. Do you want me to go do you want me to go after them, or should we try to speak to them from out here?
When do you stop running, Dash?
I'm not running, I'm standing. Dagger.
A jet black teardrop goes down Lissa's cheek.
Oh, fuck. Alright. This is against my better judgment, Hatsu, and I put my hand on the book as well.
Doesn't work on you. You need like a good intelligence for this. No, it's grand. You put your hand down on the book, and it, yeah.
Please be canon. Please be canon.
Sorry, occasionally your intelligence is under 3 doesn't work.
It's like the D&D movie, just walks past him.
Yeah.
Or just put my hand on the book and looking at Hatsu like, okay, now what?
It takes a moment, but it does kick in.
Instead of like a big reaction, Dash is just like,
yeah. And a few moments later, something similar happens to Dash as a teardrop streaks down his cheek. Ayami turns to you, Hatsu. What do we do?
Well, Eos and Slate seems to have quite a bit experience with this. I don't know what this is about, but looks like a little side quest to them. I think we can't do more than guard and try to destroy the book if necessary. Have you ever heard of a book that is that powerful?
No, but since coming to this Arcanum, there are many things I have discovered that are easily possible that I had no idea about.
Same. I'm also curious what this is about. As my grandma always says, sometimes you have to let these things unfold before you can fully read them.
While this conversation is going on, within the inner part of Slate's mind, Eos's mind, Lissa's mind, and Dash's mind, you all hear a different voice, one that resonates with each of you in a different way, but they all say the same thing. Welcome. You stand in a void of darkness, but gradually, first Slate appears, then Eos, then Lissa, and then Dash. Lissa and Dash have a considerably more intense migraine than what Eos and Slate would have.
And I just check that we're all, don't know if physically in the same space is the right way to put it, but we're aware of each other, or we're in.
Yeah, you're metaphysically in the same space.
Yeah, perfect. Being the first one in, I would turn to the book and say, hopefully some of the others are coming, but I just wanted to check in. Have you thought any more about what you can tell me, or about that list, that bucket list that I mentioned?
His voice and accent perpetually change and fluctuate. Something that's different the last time you were here. At first it sounds more, welcome, Slate. And then it varies off to, it's been a while. At that point, then Eos appears.
Book. How are we?
Eos. Having visions. That's new.
It was a nice week.
Suddenly, there's a cry out behind you, Eos, as you feel a pull on your arm. Lissa appears. Eos, look out! She's trying to pull you back, and she just moves back, not understanding what's happening or where you are.
Don't worry, my dear.
I used to just steal gems for a living. Much later, Dash appears. Took a moment, but he appears.
3 hours later.
Just a moment or two. Yeah.
Oh, what have you got us into?
Not what. Who?
Who do I have the pleasure of addressing?
The void that you're standing in becomes a large purple swirl. Purple-esque fluid and liquid encase around all of you in almost a bubble. At first there's a shadowy figure, an ominous presence. Mr. Slate. I think it's time we talk face to face.
Do you always do that echoey thing?
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Dash finds that his mouth suddenly seals shut.
Oh no, he deadpooled me!
He deadpooled you. Just a temporary precaution. so that we can have a meaningful conversation, Mr. Hydeman. And for what it's worth, I'm sorry about your father. Your mouth appears again. Eos and Slate, in previous experience, his voice is a lot deeper and darker. He's had time to reflect and think about this and learn to kind of trust and lean on you. So he's giving you not just the visage of what he looks like, but what he sounds like. But he's having trouble remembering how he sounded, how he was, how he acted, how he behaved. And so it's an amalgamation of a lot of things for him as he finds his commonality and his common ground. He's been nothing but a disembodied voice for a very long time, bar the presence that he showed up with Slate to go around Palproth, and even then it was more of a reflection of what Slate needed at that time than actually himself.
So when last we spoke, he also appeared in the same way. So, you know, I've experienced this before, and if I'm right, the book goes by Vatros.
Yeah.
I think that's, yeah. And
Get your inspiration back. Well remembered. I said that like 15 sessions ago. Well remembered.
Yeah, and obviously he was referring to Slate as Elias Holt, and we talked about some memories, waking up in a cell, you know, some Palparoth memories, mother and a child, and a couple of things about Harrow's voice and a few other things, injections, an escape. And then we talked a little about the emissaries. And then I suppose Vatros asked that we could possibly burn it in some kind of arcane forge, or there was some conversation around that I think maybe it's myself and Eos that talked about that actually. But last conversation I had, I asked Vatros if they were looking for death, that Eos and I said we would do that, and obviously I want to get information along the journey, but I also put it to the book. Did they want to experience anything upon our journey? Did they have a bucket list? Did they feel, for example, the temperature change on the cover? Do they know when we're in a warm area, a cold area? Is there anything that Vatros wants to experience, having been trapped in the book for whatever, 1,000 years or more, whatever it was, I told before, a very long time. And then we left it to think over that. Do they have any requests, I suppose? And that's why I started with, have you put any thought to the bucket list? Have you put any thought to anything you want to see, do, be brought into contact with, or whatever, more or less?
I have spent everything in here. There is no time, no memories, no space. I'm just haunted by nightmares of people I can barely remember. I can feel through the book, but I don't think I can escape it. Not long enough to tangibly feel anything. To experience something, to taste something. All I have are faint memories to keep me company here. If there were a way to leave the book even temporarily, in an astral form or physical, just to experience and see, and make any new memory to keep me company in here until the task is done. That would help. In his request, he looks very humble. It's not a demand, it's an ask. Curiosity or amusing even.
book.
Oh, I'm going to turn to Eos and say, Eos, I think maybe we could try and help Vathros in this respect. But ultimately, you in particular said you're happy to end their suffering as per their request. So I'm going to turn to Eos and Vathros and just say, any ideas on how we actually do that?
Unfortunately, I do not. If I did, I would have enacted upon it already. Even if I could step 5 feet from this book, just for a moment, I would do it.
Have you had anyone visit you before that's attempted to do it for you? And if so, what did they try?
No, my only company was a lonely wall and, well, the Guardian. He refers to Kalis.
Yeah, can I just quickly check now that I've heard the name? Is a name that I would recognize?
Vathros?
Or have heard of? Yeah.
Not entirely sure. You can make a history check with disadvantage. If there's something in your pack about it, then yes, but...
Nothing in the pack specifically, just, you know, it's a 4. Yeah.
You don't recognize the name Vathros at all. It's something... This being is something old. Like, it's not something... Like, you know, that would have been in your line of work, let's say.
Yeah.
Book.
Just looks towards you.
What if I let you see my memories from the point I departed our boat to here, on this land?
The
Would you
moment
enjoy that?
touch this book, I already see the memories from start to finish. Knowledge is a burden I carry on my back.
Is there anything that you enjoyed to see?
Camaraderie. A sense of belonging, even in a place where perhaps I do not.
May I ask you about one specific memory that you saw?
You may.
The one with the fiery eyes, the pyramid shapes, the sacrificial table in the cave. Who or what?
Based on what I've learned from all of your memories, it would be pretty advantageous to say it's not the unnamed one. I believe this is a shrine or an altar, or most likely something tethering, a barrier, perhaps, relying on a certain sense of magic.
Mm-hmm.
If I was trying to channel the darkest of magic, I would do it in his name.
Do you perhaps know or remember where this arcane forge is or was?
Arcane Forge, what are you looking for specifically with Arcane Forge?
The place that Vathros / book mentioned would be a point that he could finally go to rest.
Oh, right, sorry.
That was the book's suggestion long ago.
Yeah, Arcane Forge sounds like something I would say, but it's like not the name of it, so I couldn't remember what exactly it was. Not far from here. We were close already.
Impressive, okay.
The forge lies somewhere near the research station.
You also make direct eye contact with him. And he will see a sense of sadness in the limbs and emotions she has. Are you sure this is what you want?
Galen was informed not to touch the book, because once he did, I would learn everything that was known. But of course, when given enough time, even the most simple of tasks becomes difficult. Curiosity becomes obligatory. When he touched the book, I learned, well, beneath the volcano lies a forge, and it can only be operated by one. The only difficulty is that she will be difficult to find. Alicia lives beneath the waters, the sea. She has the power to end me, or possibly to set me free.
Which would you rather?
I would love to be freed. But when you're shackled for as long as I have been, it becomes an impossibility, something difficult to overcome when hope is so far gone. But I would choose death over this book and my confinement. This fate is not for me.
Okay. As I agreed, I will carry out what you've asked. Of course, I'd rather see you live and thrive than become death, but there's comfort in both.
Vatros, you once told us that Stella betrayed you, and that's how you ended up in the book. And when we first met, we didn't meet as friends. We don't stand, perhaps, as we do now. So, can you tell us more specifically about why you ended up here, the way that you are? If you're asking us to potentially free you, the least you can do is to try and allay any fears we might have as to why you're here.
I'm not a criminal, if that is what you fear. My power just outgrew hers, and my vision exceeded beyond hers. But anyone who could truly call themselves a hero, would they subject anyone to what I have gone through? Would you lock your worst enemy away for an eternity, to be trapped as nothing but a voice in a void? I understand the link. Criminals get imprisoned. But in this world, so do the powerful. Her strike is preemptive and misplaced.
Especially based on that statement, I'd like to try and read between the lines and see, I suppose, how much do I feel that they're being genuine, honest?
Yeah, I'm trying to get a read on that too, just while this is going on. I'm also trying to get a read on that.
You can both give me an insight check.
Well, for Dash.
$19.
Dash, there's sincerity to what he's saying. If it's a lie, it's not all a lie. Slate, if you've ever heard of a Murta, guilty by the sin of omission. There's guilt in his voice because he's choosing to omit information that could otherwise paint the story differently. But if that's in an effort to hide his true narrative for being here, or if that's just in an effort to keep some cards close to the chest, it's difficult to say. There could be any multitude of reasons why he would be omitting something, but there is something... There's something at the end of his sentence that he's not quite saying every time he opens his mouth.
Upon getting that kind of vibe, that feeling, I'm going to draw the conversation a different way to bring that feeling back of ease and that kind of collegial respect that we had going on. And I'm going to ask Vatros to show me again, if he would, the image of Palparoth, because this time Dash is here to see it. Because previously there was a tie-in, but having no memory of Palparoth, it means nothing to me. So can you show my friend here what you showed me?
Yeah. He goes back over the beginning entry point of the sort of vision that you were taken through. I don't want to call it a vision because it's more than that. It's something that's almost tangible, so it's beyond a vision. But yeah, he takes you through it again. And
it was explained to me as like a memory that I've suppressed or can't remember, or at least I was led to believe that that's what it may be. Obviously, I don't know that to be factually correct, but
yeah,
led to believe that it's a memory that I don't remember. Or
rather than the memory playing out, it more or less demonstrates the location. Dash, you would be familiar with this in some capacity. It's from across the city from you, but it is something that is, relatively possible to be Palparoth. It looks, in terms of architecture, structure, like builds, even the height and like stuff, it looks to be Palparoth. It just doesn't look the same in the skyline. It looks like an older variant of Palparoth.
Yeah, it looks like Palparoth, but there's a few of the buildings missing kind of over there. It's like other side of the city from where I grew up. Well, not sure what else I'm supposed to be looking for here, Slate.
It feels warm, Dash. Lissa even sort of like is really happy to be in the sun. It feels nice. It feels like home.
Feels like home. It feels warm. It's kind of conflicting things for Dash.
Fair.
Like, yeah, warm, but
it feels like the good memories you have of Palparoth. How's that? Being in your mother's coal mine, deep underneath her jewelry office.
Yeah.
Which is deep underneath her tailor office. Yeah.
Which is next door to the copper mine. Yeah. Back when I used to sell fish for her.
But yeah, like it reminds you of the good parts of home.
I'm going to turn to Dash and say, at some point, Dash, you need to take me there. Specifically there.
Sure. I don't think it'll be a problem. I don't know what you expect to find.
Dash, you hope to see something else?
No? Do I?
And like I just remember something, I kind of click my fingers and go, oh yeah, there was something about your dad.
And with that, there's one person standing in front of you, and it's just your father. As you would remember him when you were a child. Marcus.
Is it his voice coming? Or is it just like
still
narration?
Vathros narrating and talking, and Vathros is kind of moving around the body and sort of almost examining it. Like it's a perfectly standing person. It's not like T-posing or anything, but at the same time, perfectly standing person who is present in the situation. But it is Tano is like the 6th player or the 5th player today, man. Your cat is just going ham in the background there.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so you have like this presence that's standing there that looks like your father. It's not moving. It doesn't look like awake or anything like that. It is. I keep slapping my microphone. Sorry. It doesn't look awake or anything like that. But it's it's the most present you've seen your father since. Yeah.
Dash is kind of almost frozen to the spot. And you'd see a tear or two forming in his eyes before he just kind of brushes it away. What the fuck what are you doing?
Searching.
For what? I know emotional manipulation when I see it. What the fuck do you want?
Manipulation, no. Emotional vindication. You're suppressing something. The whole setting changes and it moves like as if everything was kind of rotating, but as it does, it shows one sort of thing blending to another. First it's sort of you as a child, then it's you sort of alone rather than with your family, and then it's you running through the streets, and then it's you older sitting atop a building planning something, and then it shows the moment you met Alyssa, and next thing, you stealing her invitation, right? All the way up till today. It kind of flicks very quickly through these memories. It's looking for something.
Get the fuck out, please.
This is what the book does, Ash.
I don't want it to do this.
It's nice to see it sometimes. It's like
no,
those
get it out.
spinning.
Get it. No, get it out.
You know the
And you see Dash
things that spin around the candles and it shows the moving images. This is what this is.
Dash is at this point. He's pulling the daggers out from his forearm bracers.
There's nothing there. You go to take out the weapons, and you're unarmed.
Can I see Valtras from here?
Yeah, you can see Valtras. Yeah.
I'm gonna try run and punch him.
You do, but like he kind of moves back as you go to punch, and then when you go for a second swing, it just phases through him. It does nothing. It's like punching a thought.
Let me out of here.
What is this distrust of the king?
Let me out of here.
Do you ever watch a movie with a friend that hasn't seen it and you're dying for them to see it, and you're like looking at the screen, looking at their face, looking at the screen because you know what's coming? Currently Slate is doing that during all this because he's met the book before and this is your first time and this is all really interesting. It's just like
I apologize if I'm overstepping.
No, the line is way the fuck back there.
Alander was.
I want to relive this shit. I can play it over in my own mind.
And you will. Alander was good to you. I like him.
I don't trust you.
That's okay.
Let me out. I'm done here.
I have one question and then you may go. Why aren't you searching for him? I've searched every thought, every memory, and I don't see a single reason.
You've asked your question. Let me out.
So be it. Dash, you just suddenly become alert and step back from the book.
Why did you come back alone?
Because I asked it to let me out.
I don't know whose computer alert that was, but that was such good timing. Why'd you come back alone?
Dash reactivating. Shit, Dash is Warforged.
So you did run again. Go
They're
back
not in
in.
danger. Nope.
Go back
Nope.
in. What are you afraid of?
My own mind, Atsu.
That's why you should go in.
That's why I'm absolutely not going back in. They can come out when they ask to come out. That's all they have to do.
So you're leaving
Slate and Neo seem happy enough to talk.
Because you don't
It's
want
not
to
my
face
responsibility. They chose to go in there. They
Then
can
you should
choose to
go.
come out.
Then we don't need you here. Leave.
No.
So what you doing here?
Waiting for them to finish their conversation. Okay, you go in. I'll stand guard.
I don't trust your guard. Because when there's trouble, you will run.
When there's trouble, I'm always at the front. I've never shown anything else. Yes.
If that's what you want to think.
Can I change the facts, Hatsu?
What made you run?
Me. I didn't want to see what that book wanted to show me. The others seem happy enough to see what they want to see.
So it shows you what you want to see.
No, it shows you what's happened.
What happened that you don't want to see?
My father.
What happened to your father?
I thought he was dead.
Is he dead?
I'm starting to think not.
So you imagined him dead? Because it was easier that way.
I was told he was dead when I was growing up.
But you kind of felt that he wasn't.
No, I just thought he was.
But what makes you think that he isn't?
The book asks why I haven't looked for him. And that lawyer that tried to lock you away told me he's not dead, but I thought he was just trying to get into my head.
Maybe they're both trying to get in your head.
They're definitely trying to get into my head. It's a question of whether they're using the truth or lie to get in there.
Doesn't matter.
It matters, because if he is alive, then I'll need to find him.
Why did he leave?
I don't know.
Your mother never told you?
She said he used to do some dangerous jobs. I never wanted to hurt her with the conversation, so I didn't. I didn't ask. But don't fucking tell me to leave again. That's not fair.
Well, it is when you need your time to get yourself in order.
I'm in order. I need to wait for them to come out and make sure they're okay. They look like they'll be fine, but
well, obviously
they just have to ask
not
to
in
leave.
order. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. I'm just trying to help you to understand. If you run from your past and from yourself, and you can't face these things, you will run forever. And it's better to face these demons with friends than alone. I can guarantee you that.
Didn't realize I was running.
I'm watching you, friend. There's nothing to worry. And the rest will watch for you when you're back there.
I don't need to go back into the book. I won't go back in, but they are safe. They can come out when they're ready.
You was able to leave by yourself?
Just like you said. Similar to last time. When they're ready, simply ask, he'll let them out.
I hope this will be the case.
It's the case. Eos and Slate have clearly been in there on more than one occasion by the look of it. So they're fine.
So they're making friends there?
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like they are. Some guy named Vathros. I think he's been trapped in there for... ever?
Ever is a long time.
That's a long time. I hope they don't take too long, because I got other shit to do and I need you and Eos for it.
Well, let's see if you find the exit.
I'm gonna go sit in this corner for a minute.
That's what I told you to leave, to get yourself collected.
Okay, I understand that now, but when you phrase it in the middle of, an emotional moment like that, it sounds like you're telling me to fuck off and not come back.
I'm sorry, I didn't know it was emotional.
Dash just wipes the tears from his eyes. Okay, you gotta work on that. But thank you. I'm gonna go sit down.
Born of fire, born to the rain. I have a memory of yours that you have long forgotten, that may assist you in your journey, if you would allow me.
But of course, book.
I only ask because I did not know it was rude. I apologize.
Don't worry about it.
Suddenly you're standing somewhere else. It's a lot colder and darker. You're home in the Undercroft. Lit by candles and candles alone. Books upon books upon books. Lissa and Slate can both see this as well. Sitting there at the table furthest in the corner is a figure you recognize but see rarely. Vitor is sitting down. And you start moving towards him almost without control over your own autonomy. Mm-hmm. And you look down and you glance and you realize you're a little girl again. And your curiosity has taken over, as it does. Curiosity becoming obligatory for Eos. Little Eos walks towards Vitor out of not malice and not spying or snooping, but just authentic curiosity at why he could read the same book again and again. And Vitor gets a fright when you're there and knocks over the book. You pick it up and hand it back to him, but that's when the memory stops and stands perfectly still. I told you. You had forgotten. Don't you see the book? You look down, like you can't move, but your eyes glance down, and you see what was once forgotten. Vitor's book has the same symbol as the Unnamed One's totems within the cave. He is reading about the Unnamed One in one of the only places in the Wandering Isles where he would be able to do so. And suddenly his journeys from where he comes from to where he went, coming to the Undercroft time and time again, are starting to click for Eos. If you had questions, perhaps this presence would be the one to ask.
I thank you, Book. This is a... And Eos is looking at Lissa and then a Slate. This is my actual father. And Book, Fathros, I did not realize that connection of what he was reading.
You did not realize because he did not want you to. That the curiosity of a child cannot be overlooked.
Yeah. This is where I actually grew up. She gestures around the undercroft to the others. This is my home. My haven.
Yes. I feel that.
Okay. Eos tries to pick up the book. The one that's on the ground has been fumbled.
You try and pick up the book, but it's a memory, it's a figment. For you to alter it now would not be able to change that or to emulate that in any way. He's just showing you a memory that you, Eos, didn't even take into account. You were too young to even know what it meant.
There's genuine desperation in her grasping this. It just fades to nothing. It's a visage, it's an oasis.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if the book is still in the undercroft.
More likely it would be. These ones do not get checked out for a good reason.
Then it sounds like we're going on a road trip.
Look, could I ask you to show me one more memory?
Just nods, yeah.
Could you show me taking Julia on that walk along the lake?
What an odd request. I can. You want to see it in full?
Yeah.
So be it. Now, I, the DM, are very familiar with this day in particular, and I'm very familiar with your backstory in particular. But I also am not the one who wants to reveal your backstory as both a DM and as a participant in an observer in this story. So I'm going to hand the reins to you and let you tell just as much of this day as you want to tell, in as much detail as you like. There's no holds barred. I will say that Eos's backstory has some graphic nature to it, so I'm offering a slight warning to chat that this might be a little bit upsetting in some places, depending on how deep the story goes. But Rory, you are free to tell your story as much as you see fit.
You're standing in what is like a field. There's trees around. It's on the edge of a lake. There's a bench. And on the bench, Eos is with a very young human child. And she's feeding ducks on the shore of the lake. As the dawn rises, as the sun comes up, you hear hoofs on the ground, storming towards them, the two of them. Eos not paying too much attention to it. The child is frightened. The child screams as a man in armor with a cape comes off the horse and grabs the child's arm, gesturing towards Eos. As this witch, this bitch, how dare you capture this child? Eos, without hesitation, makes the entire area dark. Out of this cloud of darkness rolls this man's head. Eos quickly grabs the child, takes the horse, And you run off back to the village.
With that, the vision comes to a close. Some parts of it, I would say that, not necessarily you because you're watching it, but I would say to Slate that he would notice that some parts of it are blurred out or are a little foggier than, say, the other visions have been. Vathros can feel the conflict within Eos and is trying not to overstimulate or push Eos a little too far there. The memory itself, while predominantly intact, it paints a very full picture for Eos as well. There are parts of that not necessarily you'd forgotten, but reliving an experience is something that we as mortals are not meant to do. There's a reason for that. There's a reason we remember things the way we do. There's a reason that our minds protect us the way that they do. And to completely disregard and disobey that is almost like fracturing a part of yourself. It's something that's almost akin to reopening a scar, but the exact same way. But this time you're the one wielding the weapon, causing the scar. With that in mind, this doesn't necessarily stop you from having the rest of your relaxing week and doing these things. This is the tail end of that anyway, but it certainly opens some old wounds that you weren't prepared to open again, and your mind hungers for home. You feel like there's answers there for questions that are being brought up continuously right now with your journey with Vathros here that need answering. Not necessarily today or tomorrow, but at some point there will be an opportunity to consider, at least. Vathros stops the vision there. This is the best that I'm willing to do. I can feel the strain. You do not need to see more.
It's okay, I thank you. I feel like I know where my compass needs to point.
If the day comes where you're ready, we can continue. We can revisit. But I must advise you, there are far more peaceful ways to go than crushing your own spirit like this. These paths are not the paths that just brought you here. These are also the paths that we walked and leave behind us. We do not walk the same paths again and again. If we did, the consequences would be darker than even this prison is to me. I am forced to relive memories, even those that are not my own. You do not share that burden, and nor should you have to. Even the sweetest parts of your memories, they belong there, behind you, guiding you like a gentle hand on your back. Don't drown when you can swim.
You should think of those words as well, Book. Slate, Lissa, and maybe Dash and I, we will find a way. Whether it's comfort in death or for you to be free, we will find it. That I owe you for showing me his face again.
Slate, I can feel your pull in a very similar fashion. You're curious about the road behind you, and you have turned. You don't wish to walk further down this road, you wish to go back. But given everything, I'm not sure you'll like the answers that you find. I'm not sure you're ready to find those answers. But your own mind will protect you from that. But I will offer you this piece of advice. Sometimes getting everything that you want is the worst possible thing that can happen to you. Just proceed with caution.
I don't remember enough of myself to know regret or possibly joy. I don't know what my memories hold, but I know without them, I don't know what the true future holds. Every thing that has happened, good and bad, makes me who I am. And right now, I don't know who I am. So I need those pieces, good or bad, all of them.
In my experience, the people that I do know from my past, many of them would have wished for a second chance or a second life. You were given that gift. If you push too hard against the barrier between what is and what was, you will no longer be Slate. Comparatively to a clean slate, there must always be a dirty one as well. And when it's
there are those that would see your time in the book as immortality. There are those that search and do everything they can to have what you have, but you see it as a prison. Everything's about perspective, but I have none until I have the information. I have no perspective.
Dash can take you home. The answers that you both find there, I can't promise that that will be of any help to either of you. But I do hope we find what you're looking for. And when you have those pieces, and you're searching for clues and that river runs dry, you bring them to me when you're ready. And I will do my best. Just remember, I only see through your eyes, as a group and as individuals. I'm not omniscient, just well read. The book begins to fade, and suddenly Lissa, Slate, and Eos step back and all suddenly gasp at once.
You're right.
Woo.
Told you.
Get a cup of tea.
Now, do we burn the book now or later?
Later, Dash.
Dash, you missed a lot. But one of the last things the book said was Dash can take you home, and that there is answers there for both of us. Whatever that means.
Well, I mean, you can get a ship to Balbroth easy enough. It's not... Yeah, that's fine. Answers depend on the questions you're going to ask.
Liz, are you okay?
She's just sitting down on the bed. Her eyes have these like black inky lines, the same as you guys would have had something similar anyway. And back when you first went through this experience, having your entire persona read in a matter of seconds is something that's quite taxing on your brain.
I'll go put my arms around her and just wipe the ink off her face.
Do you want to have a go, Hatsu?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
That was like a 2-hour build up to, no, I'm good.
Okay, so I'm going to forget all of that happened. That was not cool.
It's weird. The book, it's like this continuously present thing, but I generally forgot about it until Slate brought it back. It's weird. There's some kind of a force behind it.
It's dangerous.
I mean, on the upside, one of the things it wants us to do is kill it.
I know,
But where did you actually get it from?
you never told me that, Slate. Where did you? No store has that.
Remember that trip up the mountain?
What a hike.
Weslin wanted to make, and I went with him. It's a whole thing, but at the top of that mountain, there's a temple. It was there.
You robbed the temple?
No, I asked, could I take it?
Oh.
He said yes.
Who did?
Very quietly under her breath, Lissa's like, I always knew I liked you, Slate.
The keeper of the temple. There's a whole thing with magic and the school, and I'm going to start to, verbal diarrhea the whole thing with Stella and the tie-in between the magic of the school and the magic of the temple, and that the Guardian was there for so long and the book was there for so long, and sort of flesh it all out and explain to everybody more or less what they missed as an abridged version. But yeah.
So do you think the book cheated on her and she locked him away?
I mean, or the book was about to become a raised threat and she locked him away, or she was a raised threat and the book found out about it and then she locked him away, or, I mean, it's very much two sides of the story and the truth is somewhere in the middle.
This is a lot of information to get in, 30 minutes?
Do you think the keeper's an angel? Do angels exist?
Gods
I'm just
exist, surely
curious why
angels
you
do.
think that this is so ordinary that you didn't tell anyone.
I suspect that Slate thought it was so extraordinary that he didn't want to tell anyone.
We're lucky the housekeeper's deaf.
That's the fine line between the light and the dark, I guess.
What do you think, Katsu, about the whole situation?
I don't know what you witnessed.
It showed us Dash's dad. I mean, if I was a human, I would, but...
So you guys could see all that too? Great.
You cried.
He's like a more handsome you.
So by the looks of it, it uses your own memories and emotions to bring you in a state where you're more receptive to things.
Manipulation.
That will be my next question.
Manipulation.
Absolutely. What else is it?
To what end? What did he ask for?
Freedom
I
or
wasn't.
death?
Wasn't sticking around to find out.
I can only tell you one thing. There must have been something shaking when a maleficum did bind somebody into a book.
Some serious shit went down, alright.
As you all sort of stand there for a few moments, taking in the gravity of everything, you stand sort of circling the book, looking down at it, and there's just, the silence is just broken by Ayami asking, then what do we do with it?
I'm
Yes,
going
we
to
try
assume
to
that
do
it's
as it
just... It's... I gotta assume it's not something you can just set fire to or tear in half.
No.
I'm gonna pick up the book and sort of protect it and then start putting it into my bag. And I'm gonna be like, that might be what we do with it, but not until I find out what I need to know first.
It gave us a place. The first time... Well, time that I was in it with Slate, I don't know, Slate keeps visiting it, I don't know. But it talked of an arcane forge below a volcano.
If we would know a powerful magician that could tell us something about these things, that would be very handy.
It would be so good. But it also gave us...
Did you just use sarcasm?
I don't know what you mean by that.
It also...
Never mind then.
This time, mentioned of someone or something below the sea called Alicia.
Near the research station.
This is the giant squid that we witnessed in the cave.
Could be.
Did it have a name, Slate?
I don't remember any of us asking.
In the cave. I just saw it and booked it. You're welcome to go back and ask.
No, I was kind of inky after it. I think we should see the wolf people first.
Agreed.
But if you do want to go on an amazing trip, touch the book.
Yeah, no thank you. Hatsu, I owe you some gold for that diamond. I had to use it. I'm going to pay it back to you with interest, and I'll give Hatsu 60 gold.
Oh, you should keep it maybe.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you couldn't pay back the amount of effort we already put in to keep you alive, but I think you will need that money for the information that you were looking for. And as far as I know, you also have to pay like a fee.
That's where you're getting information from. I got something else I need to do. Yes, Hato, I'd like you to come with me if you're willing. It doesn't involve venturing outside though, so yes, you'll have to...
Oh, can I wait till nighttime?
Probably. Whenever you're ready.
Let's do it nighttime. My magic cape does things.
That works.
Dash, while you're out and about, if you find your way anywhere near the mayor's, obviously, I was telling you guys during the week that I found out that she's quite formidable and she runs the town, has done for a long time, but she more or less runs this, I don't know, fish empire. All of the trade in and out, all of the dockets, all the invoices, all of the paperwork goes through her office. I'd imagine there could be some considerable coin if you were to get your hand on one of those. And I take out my forgery kit and wave it. I feel like we could do some interesting things and make a good bit of money. Just saying.
Aldous, you said?
Yep.
Alright, I'll keep an ear out.
Paperwork's the most important thing to me. Just get a hold of one of those slips. If you can.
How much? No problem.
As you head downstairs to head out at night, you feel the cold. You're not in Palperoth anymore. The snow's falling. What do you want to do, Dash?
So that little kid that was being treated quite poorly during my downtime, I want to find that kid or other ones like them that look, worse for wear, etc.
Anyone helping you?
Yeah, I'll be asking them to explain what I'm looking for, not why as of yet.
Then all of you may roll initiative. Not initiative. Oh my god.
What?
Sorry. Investigation for me, please. Sorry.
Just gonna Anakin this shit, goddamn.
Just confirm a point of order. You specifically asked them and not me, so I'm not included, not invited, correct?
You're not invited, but it's just specifically EOS and Hatsu that I said to.
Investigation.
I think I would tag along because I have nothing better to do. So even from that perspective.
A 1.
Roll well,
Dirty
Slate.
1.
Dirty one.
I never thought I would say that. Dirty 1.
Nice. Slate. The DC was 15, so well done. As you guys are investigating, you have a difficult time with your dash, which is 13. It's difficult for you to find what you're looking for. You're looking for children, probably out at this hour of the night, because they have nowhere else to be, but you're not finding tracks, traces, or anything like that. EOS with your 11, even less so. Hatsu with your dirty 1, you're just realizing this is the first time you're probably massively going too far from the tower. You mostly spent your time there building it up, so you have no idea where you are or what you're looking for. There's a whole new place to use, so you're just taking in the sights with your dirty 1. But Slate, you just manage. You guys have given up, you're heading back, and you just see it. One tiny shoe print in the snow going into an alleyway. Just the smallest footprint, but, you know, detective minds. You're putting pieces together, you're thinking this maybe makes sense. And then you notice that a lot of the snow is brushed here. An unusual thing, unless you're trying to cover tracks. And with that, you just sort of make your way inside this alleyway, and you follow the sound until you hear chatter, talking, younger voices.
Before we kind of get too close, I'll just kind of turn to them. I'm going to give you a taste of Palparoth and why I do what I do.
Before we go any further, is there anybody else around? Are we hidden? Is there any other
This is a very
people
secluded alleyway. Yeah.
So I'm going to take a moment and, kind of try to blend in with the group, huddle in behind them or whatever, and as best I can to keep from prying eyes, I'm going to take a moment and turn into as the small child version of myself, the smaller version that I can. That's it.
Again, you took note that I marked off the silver that time.
You did it earlier, yeah. You actually marked off an electron piece, but yeah, you did it earlier.
Oh,
Yes, it's for her, but she's gonna
electron
Dash.
stealth.
dash, yeah.
Yes, you have your advantage on stealth.
Yep.
Sorry, go on, Dash. Sorry, what were you saying?
I was going to say, hopefully I find that specific kid there.
You find that specific kid. And about 18 others.
So just kind of walk there, catch the eye of that one in particular, and just kind of give him a warm smile, just kind of slightly crouch down. I want to just ask them how they're doing, if they have a place. Are they cold, hungry? What do they need, basically?
Who are you?
My name is Dash. These are my friends. And I'd like to help you.
The sort of kid just looks at all of you, leans over, looks down the alleyway. Where did you come from?
All over. I'm from Palparoth originally. We just kind of come from various places across the islands. Have you grown up here?
Oh, yes. My whole life.
Just you? Parents? Siblings?
Oh, we all have a family.
What are they like?
Well, you could always ask me for yourself. The lady stands behind you, and as you turn around, sitting along the rooftop, very still, is about 20 people sitting with hoods up, dark hoods. They have little masks up to their, covering their faces, basically all wearing black, but that lady who's leaning against the wall behind you, she steps forward.
Good evening.
Strange
How do you
night
do?
to be out here exploring, is it? You
That's
often
a
find
word
yourself
for
down dark alleys talking to children?
more than I anticipate. Yes.
Where's your friend?
Sorry, I didn't catch that.
Well, there's 3 of you here. There's the other 2
No,
back.
Kian didn't hear that properly.
There's 3 of you here. There's 2 back at your room, and one of you is missing. Where is he?
I don't know.
Well, then I guess you better get comfortable, because you'll be staying with us until he shows himself. He was asking a lot of questions earlier, and the rest of the syndicate would be interested to know exactly why. She stands there in dark robes, pulls her hood back, and she draws both daggers. But I wouldn't worry about it. You can think about what to say between now and the end of the Christmas holidays. We'll pick up from there when we come back.
No good deed. No good deed.
To be fair, this is the tie-in. You got what you asked for. This is literally what you asked for. It just ties into Richard's 5 earlier or whatever it was on the die.
Now, if it was a good idea that I wasn't me in that moment later on.
Well, you're the one who got their attention, so.
Yeah.
We'll pick it up from there. But I will say, just on the tail end of this session, your Jutahatsu is not chiming at all. You don't feel any vibration from it. You don't feel any sensation from it. Your hand is just placed gently against it, but there's nothing telling you that this is dangerous. Even though visually it looks it, you feel safe. That, and you could probably cut her head off in one swipe. I don't know. Hatsu's fucking crazy, man. We'll pick up from there in a few weeks. But I should know, actually, when we're back. Next Wednesday's Christmas, right? So we're not here on the 25th and the 1st. We're back on the 8th. You're absolutely right. Yeah. So in the meantime, those of you who've been watching on YouTube, thank you so much. We have some extra supplementary videos from our stream. We put up a full version, and we put up a condensed version into 4 parts. And they'll be releasing slowly over the next 2 weeks so that people can watch them as they see fit. We thought a 2-hour video, some people like that and some people prefer the other format, so we just did both. Couldn't really get a solid answer on how people want to do things. There's a few things I just want to say at the tail end of this, and I'll give everyone time to speak if they want. But I just want to say thank you so much to everyone who has joined us this year. 2024, the year of the orc, has been solid. It has been amazing. It's been great. Every year's the year of the orc, but this one in particular. We didn't expect such a turnaround and such a following and such great constructive feedback, and to make so many new friends. Man, it's been great. Like solid 10 D&D, you've got so many followers here to try and get Kian to eat that pepper. We really appreciate it. It's been amazing. And like we have like people like Shaq who makes so many memes for us, and like On Your End, and like John, and everyone who comes across from Rhino's army and stuff, and the people who came over from Kian's stream and everything. It's just been amazing. We see a lot of support and love in chat, and we believe me when we see it. We see the comments on YouTube. We read every one. We see the comments on Twitch. We read every one. We have like our social media team and everything. We put the pictures in a room for us. It's just something that we can see, the comments that really mean a lot to us, and the achievements and accolades and stuff that mean a lot to us, because to us this is really something special and something important. And when you see,
we all have imposter syndrome, so we don't believe it, but we would take it anyway. Massively.
But when you see it behind the scenes, we're like, when we get these like massive raids and the sub bombs and just crazy things that go on, we're just shaking behind the scenes. It's so much, and we're trying to keep composure and talk, and it's just all gone. Like, it's so hard to keep it a straight face for this, but it's a really good complaint. We love it. We appreciate it. We value it. You guys have been awesome, even in the boss fights, even in the everything, and the feedback, and everybody's put a lot of feedback into our websites, into our socials, into like, we have community members running competitions on our Discord and stuff like that, and reaching out to us for approval to do stuff, and that's really cool, man. Like, I didn't think we would do that in a year. I didn't know we could do that in a year, but it's amazing, and we really, really do appreciate it. So from all of us at Flying Orc, happy holidays, and thank you so fucking much. You guys are awesome. We love telling our story. We could have done it in private, but now we can share it with you, and we're super happy we can.
Giveaway on Discord, by the way, ends tomorrow, so link in chat. Go join the Discord.
In 2 hours, possibly.
Or 2 hours, yeah.
I also want to thank you all guys for making this campaign so beautiful and enjoyable, and the amount of time and effort you guys all put into it really makes it like it's so. Like today, I didn't have much to do with Hatsu, but it was like a fucking movie. Like just sitting there, just listening. Oh, what's going on? What they are gonna do? Like it's always a pleasure for me.
You say that, but then you give me that intense roleplay that I'm just like, that was dope. Like no one challenges me in roleplay like Hatsu does, and I fucking love it. It's so good.
Yeah, that's what's about. Like learn from each other, having a good time. Like creating the worlds or bending the world how Roper does create it.
Yes, it's like creating France in the world, we will do it.
Yeah.
You guys can establish.
Yeah, I want to thank you for that, for sure. And all the love that we receive. Well said. Thank you.
Absolutely. And for those of you who want to, we have created a new Path of Exile 2, Path of the Elves. I'm done talking. I won't be in the post show. This is me signing off for 2024.
So there's a game called Path of Exile 2.
Yes.
If you want to play it with us, Discord.
Busy set up an awesome guild. Everybody's playing and having a great time. Busy streaming it almost all the time at the moment, which is amazing. So definitely check out Biz. If someone could put the link in chat there, that'd be great for me.
Yeah.
And always, if you're watching this on YouTube, straight below, make sure you give them all a follow. But definitely check out Busy at the moment because he's Path of Exile's guru. He's like, I'm watching his stream and I'm learning while I'm playing. It's awesome. So definitely worth it. And thank you all just so much. Like the love, the support, the feedback, everything has been so positive. And so like we were told the internet would be a cruel place, but so far it's been pretty loving. So we're good. It's good. We have a post show today. It'll be in about 10 minutes.
Nice.
We're going to take an extended break because we, for some reason, just blew through a break. Didn't take it during the session.
There was no opportunity. It just flowed through. There's literally no place for a break there.
That's how I felt too. Because I was looking at the time, I was like, okay, there must be a good opportune moment. Oh, they're touching the book. Sick. I should have stopped there, and I didn't. I should have just stopped there.
It's none of our faults. It's the book's fault.
The book did it. Yeah.
The book could have just been like, "For you today, guys. See you later."
Yeah, absolutely.
Word from our sponsors.
The book. That's it. Thank you so much. So for those of you who are joining us on YouTube and on the podcast, thank you guys so much. Hope you have a wonderful holiday period in whatever way you're celebrating it. Let us know. Send us messages. Join the Discord. Put it in the comments. We want to hear about it.
Buy your own book at our merch store.
Also that. Thank you so much for joining us. And those of you on Twitch or joining us again on YouTube, our post show is coming up now in about 10 minutes. So thank you so much. We love you very much. Adieu. Tschüss. Auf Wiedersehen. Goodbye. And